and I will forward you the syllabus also. You can check that syllabus from the book and try to learn it, okay? Not learn means try to understand it. Any I'm writing on the screen, you are getting like I'm writing anything. Like it is visible to you because we are.
No, sir.
No, that's why I'm asking because it is visible to me and not to you. Because
Visible,
actually
sir.
they
It's visible.
are going to install the software. So tell me what I have written because actually in my mobile I also open the same app in my mobile but it is not visible to me. So what I written there?
Sir, I can't see anything. Like nothing is
Okay,
written.
same. I am in my mobile. I am also not able to see whatever I am showing you. Now always I open the same thing in my mobile to look at that is visible to you or not. Okay, and again. Okay, so first topic is logic. So in logics, what are the main topics? Introduction to logic already covered. Predicates that covered. Quantifiers. Today I will do the quantifiers. Rule of inference that is covered. Validity of argument. Sorry, validity of argument that is also covered. Normal forms are remaining. Then methods of proof, direct, indirect, proof of contradiction, proof of by cases. So some are remaining. So today I am going to cover the quantifiers topic, okay? And the next unit is principle of counting. Okay, whenever the next topic is going to be start, I will discuss that sum and product of rule, Peachen principle, permutation, combination. Now the remaining units are somehow very easy. Like second unit that principles of counting. Principles of counting is very easy. That third is also very easy. Every unit is very easy. So only first unit is related to some more theory. So this is your content. I will send it to you. Okay. Next, already you know that your exam pattern. And for MATLAB exam, I will share with you what is your MATLAB syllabus. Okay. So mostly you all know that there are 4 term tests for you and 2 main one. So there are 4 term tests for you, and being for before that I will give you some assignment. You need to submit it. Okay, so that is okay. Now I'm going to share you the today's slide because I know that some screen is not visible to you. So I will start. Teaching it. Wait, I am opening. So listen carefully. Okay, one thing, student, tell me one thing. I will do one thing, then you can tell me it is visible to you or not. So, because just now before you that IT sector has downloaded the software here. I am checking that it is working or not. So now it is anything what I am writing, it is visible to you or not?
No, sir.
Again, they will just do some mistake. Okay, forget about it. Okay, now predicate logics. Okay, so already you know that what is predicate. So like in English there is one topic, subject and object. Okay, so same here, it is a predicate here. So in that you will study the predicate logics, the first order logic, it is called FOL, and after that first order logics you will get predicate calculus. Okay, after we will study a predicate calculus. That is from in these topic what we are going to study, the language of quantifiers. Just overview I am going to give you just a simple basic quantifiers related to quantity. Okay, actually the quantifier is related to the quantity. Sum, there means for all, there are too many numbers. Sometimes we are writing for all and sometimes we are writing there exist. So if that positions or statements came under the category of quantifiers, okay, where quantity is given. So the language of quantifiers. Next, the logical equivalence is same. So means what is the equivalence logic to that? Like in place of there I can write okay, means for all is equal to there exists. So some there are logical equivalences. Then nested quantifiers means first we will study the quantifiers, then where we can study the next level of quantifiers, means from with the help of preposition and quantifier develop some statement or translation of predicate logic into English. So simple. Some symbols are given to you, you need to convert in English. Then last, translation of English to predicate logic. So again we can, so maybe some English is given to you and we need to convert in predicate logics. So predicates and quantifiers we are going to study. So this is the outline in which we can study predicates, then variables. Variables are very important here because in the previous study we have only the predicates but variables are not there, like functions. Px is not there, fx is not there, but here we can include the px also. So like we can px, no it is not visible. Okay, so predicate variables and quantifiers. So there are two types of quantifiers are given, universal quantifier and existential quantifier. Okay, two quantifiers are given to you, universal quantifier and existential quantifier. These are the only two main quantifiers which we are going to read, and most of the questions are depending on it. Okay. The second last, negating quantifiers. How to negate the quantifiers? Simply we can use De Morgan's law. But here are some more properties or some more logics to understand that what is the negation negation of for all. What is the negation like? What is the negation of their existence? So we can study such type of things here. Translating English to logics. Translating English to logics. Simple it is. Now think about it. Prepositional logics not enough. Okay, prepositional logics not enough. What is the meaning of it? Whatever the logics are given to you, that always are sometimes that are not enough, because some more information we require. So like simple, it is given. If we have, okay, if we have, so what is here? All men are mortal. So what the information is given to us? All men are mortal. But and second statement, Socrates is a man. Okay. So all men are mortal, it is given, and Socrates is a man. So can we, from the above information, all men are mortal, then we can say Socrates is a man. Okay, you can simply think all men are mortal. In place of Socrates, maybe you are not heard it. Simply write XYZ is a man. Okay, so simple. What is given to you? All men are mortal. In second statement, XYZ is a man. Then how we can say that XYZ is a man? Is this information can be derived from the above one? No, because in the above statement what is given, all men are mortal. So it is not sufficient. So what is given in the second point, does it follows that Socrates is mortal? So, or we can say from these two statements, what I am giving you, first I am telling all men are mortal is given. So we can say Socrates is a man? No, the above informed one sentence is not required. Now, all men are mortal and Socrates is. So does it follow that we can say Socrates is mortal? So from these two statements, we can conclude that Socrates is a mortal, because what they are saying, all men are mortal and Socrates is a man. So we can say Socrates is mortal. So what is given here cannot be represented in prepositional logic. So this statement cannot be represented in prepositional logic. Need a language that talks about objects. So what we can say here, we need some language that can talk about objects, their properties and their relations. Okay. So what is object? So there are two main things in a sentence, subject and object. So here the theory related to object is not given sufficient. So it is better if some more theory is given, we can count easily. Okay. So therefore, to do this, somehow we can draw the inferences. This is the main topic of today, what we are going to study, introducing predicate logics. Introducing predicate logic. Okay, let's do one thing. So whatever it is better to all the students, they can download the MATLAB. I will forward you today. Then we will start first the theory of the question or the topic that are going to be covered by using MATLAB software. Okay, so you can somehow try to download, and whatever it is possible, I will explain you full and provide you the codes also. Also, you are from CSE department, so maybe you have already studied somehow MATLAB in previous semester. If it is not, then don't be in panic. I will explain you all. MATLAB is a very easy, simple language. Okay, means a software. So simply in MATLAB, what we can do, whatever the things we are having, like information, we can easily plot there. Okay. Now, so today is introducing predicate logic topic. Okay, so predicate logics uses the following new features. So what, listen student, we already studied about predicate. Okay, so already we studied about the predicate, but today we are going to study predicate logics. Okay, so in predicate logics uses the following new features. What are the features here? The variables xyz, the variables are given to you x, y, z. Then what are the predicates? Px, mx, such type of functions. Okay, x are the variables, px and mx are the predicates. We will give you the example. Okay, like some variables are given to you x, y, z. Then you can find the predicates. So predicates are px, mx. What already p and m is somehow given to you in the question. You need to find what is p and what we have to take x. Okay, so simple like here fx, gx. Okay, already. Then quantifiers. So first we need to suppose the variables in the form xyz, choose xyz, then we can find the predicates px, mx, then we can do or find or use the quantifiers. Okay, so now like prepositional functions are a generalization of propositions. Okay, so already I told you in the last class that in future we are going to study some more complicated functions. So already in the last classes we studied about what is p, what is q, what is r. Okay, but now here we can study the propositional functions. So like here it is given px, mx. Okay, so these are called propositional functions because p is given as proposition and together px is called propositional functions. So what are the propositional functions? They contain variable and a predicate. Example, capital Px. Okay. Today I am teaching you with the help of PPT, and I will send you also the handwritten notes. Okay. You will get easily the complete topic, and it is not so difficult. Actually, the most typical topic here in the first unit is not 100%, 70 to 80% have completed the question that is given for you for the rule of inference, question number. Okay, right now we are correcting the copy of summer semester, that's why I didn't correct that, but I have a look on it. So mostly I have do it well, completed there. Okay, so in prepositional functions, they contain variables and a predicate. Example x. Okay, so x is variable, p is predicate, and together, or we can call proposition, or together it is called propositional function. So here variables can be replaced by elements from the replaced by elements from domain. Some domain is given to you. So you find from there like area and limits are to you from is called domain. So like here we can say about for anyone what is their domain means what is their maximum and minimum limit they can do. So it is called a domain, a particular area or value given to you from where you can choose the elements. Okay, for domain studies, then there are some typical types of domain also. Now, look carefully. Propositional functions. Okay, so it is propositional functions. So same already we discussed what is propositional function. So now here we study propositional functions become propositions. Okay, so propositional functions become propositions and have truth values. Okay, so what we can do first, prepositional functions we need to choose, and then we can tell them what is their truth value. Okay, maybe it is false, maybe it is true. Okay, so propositional functions become prepositions when their variables are replaced by a true from the domain. Okay, so what is given? Prepositional functions become prepositions when their variables are each replaced by a value from. So domain is given to you and P is given to you. So you need to find what is the prepositional function and what is their value, and from you can replace the value of x from their domain. Okay, or bounded by a quantifier. So we can study the quantifier study after 2-3 slides. So I'm giving you the example on prepositional function, how to look at and what is the prepositional function here. So the statement px is said to be the value of the prepositional function p at x. So now look carefully. So px, what is px? The statement px is said to be the value of the prepositional function p at x. Okay, so we need to find the value of px, that is called the value of propositional function. At which point we need to find? We need to find at x. Okay, okay. No one is there. Wait, I will reply. Okay. So what is this? So value of p at x is called prepositional functions. Now For example, let px denotes px. Okay? Let px denotes x greater than 0. So what is the value of px? You can simply understand px is equal to x greater than 0. So what is px? X greater than 0 is px. So like px here is an equation. And the domain be the integers. What domain is given? Domain integer. Forget all the theorem. So whatever the equation or whatever it is given, it is called px. So what is px here? Px is x greater than 0. And what is the domain? The domain is integers. Then p minus 3, p of minus 3. Wait, one student is trying to enter, but he is not able to. And actually, he is not here. Wait, students, I'm messaging to that student. Let me see that he is going to enter or not, because that name is Pariksha. It is our internet problem. Like. Okay, so now what is given? Px is equal to x greater than 0 and domain is the integers. Then p of minus 3. Yes. So p of minus 3 is false. Why? What is given here? Because x is greater than 0. But what the value of x we are putting? Minus 3. So minus 3 greater than 0. Is it? No. So therefore p of minus 3 is false. So all the students, I know p of x, if is given x greater than 0, then you can answer it very easily. Simple, we can already study it in 8th and 9th standard. But in the question we need to choose what is p and what is x. Some theory is given to you. Okay. So some theory is given to you and we need to choose what is p and what is x. So as it looks, it is not. So px is equal to x greater than 0 is given, and domain now here what is 0? Sorry, integer. So put here p0. So what is p0? 0, put here the value of x. 0 greater than 0. Is it true? No. p0 is false. So put the value of x is equal to 3. You will get 3 greater than 0. That is p3. 3 greater than 0. Yes, it is true. So p3 is true. p0 is false and p of minus 3 is false. So these are the little bit basic theory of prepositional and how can we look at it. Now in the next examples, often the domain is denoted by u. Okay. In next example, we are going to use the domain. So in this example, U is the set of integers, because here what is domain is given here? Domain is given here as integers. So maybe in upcoming examples, U in place of domain, they maybe direct write U. Okay, so in examples we are taking U as a domain. Look at here, examples of prepositional functions. So what is given here in the first one? Let x plus y is equal to z. So condition is given, which is denoted by R. Capital R is a function of x, y, z. Okay, and U for all three variables. So U is not given here. So U is a domain, a set of integers. It is integer is written here, but it is a set of integers. So U is, capital U is a set of, and R is a function of x, y, z. So what is how x and y, z are related? So x plus y is equal to z. So find these truth values. So now R of x, y, z is given is equivalent to x plus z, because R is a function of x, y, z, and how they are connected with addition equals to z. So R of x, y, z is equal to x plus y is equal to z. So now find these truth values. So what is given? X plus y is equal to x. Now this is the first part. R of 2, minus 1, 5. Okay. So what is given here? R is the function of 2 minus 5. 2 minus 1 and 5. So now put these value here. Okay. Now check. Put x equal to 2. Put y is equal to minus 1. Is 2 minus 1 is equal to z. So what is the value of z? 5. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 is not equals to 5. So truth value of R of 2, minus 1, 5 is false. Second, for the value of R of 3, so simple. What is the rule? Sum x and y is equal to z. So 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. Yes, we are getting 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So the prepositional value, so prepositional function truth value is true here. Now here x, 3, z is given here. So now I am going to ask any one of you. Okay. Rakshit Goda. Rakshit Goda. So, Rakshit Goda, are you listening? Okay. So Rakshit Goda is not responding. Wait 1 minute. Rakshit. Okay. Now Sakil Mustaq.
Yes, sir.
So Sakil, what about third point? R of x, 3, z. What information you are getting? What is the truth value? Try to think.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. First,
Yes, sir.
you can think about the prepositions. Now tell me, Sakil. Sorry, what's your name? Sakil Mustaq.
Yes, sir, Sakil.
Okay. But listen carefully. I will give you the answer. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Preeti. Preeti Chocolate.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, Preeti, about what about the information you are getting from R of X3Z? You are getting something or not from this R of X3Z? Is it true or false? You can think. I will ask to another student, then I will give you the answer. Hotaria. Hotaria. Okay. So two students are not responding. Okay, now listen, students. So what is the third point? R of x3, x comma 3 comma z. So now you can put the value x here as it is. In place of y you can put 3. X plus 3 is equal to z. So we are getting this. So is x plus 3 is equal to z is a proposition? No, because the proposition either having the true value or having the false, either having true or either false. So x comma 3 comma z if you are going to put here, so it is not a preposition. So directly you can write the first part, it is false, truth value is false. For second, the truth value is true, and for the last, it is not a preposition. Okay, because here we are not getting the answer because x plus 3 is equal to z. So what is the value of x, what is the value of here? We are not getting this. Okay, so direct answer we are not getting. So it is a confusory statement, or there might be too many values are there. For some values it is true, for some values it is false. Okay, so now next is what is the function is given it to you. X minus y is equal to z. And what is q of q is given to you is a function of xyz, and what is the relation between xyz? The relation between xyz is x minus y is equal to z. And with u is a set of integers, given you as a set of integers. Find these truth values. So first, second, and third. Okay, so now Nishita, what about the first point? Q of 2 comma minus 1 comma, what is the truth value?
Sir, it's true, sir.
Yeah, because put 2 here minus 1 here is equals to 3. So that
Yes, sir.
the value of this is true. But listen, students, the finding value is very easy, truth value. But how to choose q and xyz? It is difficult. Thus, these are the very basic example where function is given to you, everything is given to you. Okay. So now second, the same example, 3, 4, 7. Priyanka,
Yes, sir.
tell me about 3, 4, 7 truth value. So what is the truth value of q of 3, 4, 7? Is it true or false? Now listen students, see clearly. So q of x, y, z is given as x minus y is equal to z. Check here, q is a function of x, y, z. So what is the relation between x minus y? So you can suppose it is, so q is x minus y is equal to z. Now can check what is the value of q is. Q is given as 3, 4 is given as y. So 3 minus 4. So what is 3 minus 4? Minus 1 is equal to z. So what is that given here? 7. But we are getting minus 1. Is minus 1 equals to 7? No. So q of 347 is equal, means it is false. So the truth value of propositional function of q at 347 is false. So how can we read it? The propositional value of 347, of q at integers 347 is false. And last, q of x3z, so already here x is given, z is given. So perfect values are not given. So x minus 3 is equal to z. So there are too many values which are satisfying, and too many values are also there which will not satisfy. So it is not a proposition function. Okay, it is not a propositional function. Already some student had replied in the MS team. Here their answer is also true. So answers are given here. Okay, for the previous slide. Now listen, if you are in college, then you will not be get bored by 2-hour classes. But if you are attending online, so somehow it will look bored. So I'm not going to cover too much in the same class if it is of 2 hours. I will cover it slowly because some student also message that, sir, means make your speed slow, give more examples. Okay, so I'm not going to make a high speed because already first unit is going to be completed. This is the last topic from the first unit, the quantifiers. I will cover as much as more examples from this topic, and after that we will give you the complete PPT because I am making a complete PPT from first unit, from first page to the last page of the syllabus. I am doing this. It will take some 15 or 20 days. Then I will provide you. Okay. And for this complete quantifiers, it is there, and I will send you some handwritten notes also. Okay. So because listen, one thing students, like for section A and B, I am taking a class for discrete mathematics, and for section C, Hemant sir is taking. So mostly whatever the PPTs we are sending, PPTs are same. Whatever the Hemant sir is sending and whatever I am sending. So PPT is same, but the handwritten notes may be differ because handwritten notes are depending on us. How can we like to teach to the students and how they can get? It is our understanding. Okay. So maybe handwritten notes are different, but PPTs are same. So always go with the PPT also. Don't leave the PPT. I am giving the handwritten notes only for the purpose that you can get the topic easily. Okay. Only the topic of reason of the sending PPT is this only. Okay. Okay. Now connectives from prepositional logic carry over to predicate logic. Now, so what is the meaning of it? connectives from propositional logics carry over to predicate logic. So now you can take the connectives from propositional to predicates also, and from predicates to propositional. So like in previous theory, what type of examples we are having? P or Q means two prepositions are given to you, and we are taking the conjunction, disjunction, negation, implication, conditional, biconditional, whatever you say. Okay, so we are taking that type. Right now here we can take the same connective in propositional functions also. Okay, so we will take the same connectives in the prepositional functions also. Like if, so now listen carefully. If px denotes x greater than 0, same, px is given to you, x greater than 0. Find these truth value. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the answer of this, I am going to ask you. After this, I will give you a 5-minute break. You can have a water or anything, then come back. So, what is the prepositional value of P3 or P of minus 1? What is the prepositional value of this? What is the prepositional value of this? So, I am going to ask to the students. So, what is the prepositional value of this? Wait, because I need to see the name of the student. Okay. Dikshita, what is the first prepositional value of P3 or P minus 1?
Sir, it is true.
Because, yes, it is true, because P3 is true and P minus 1 is false. And true or false gives you true. Good. Now, the next is for Samarth. Samarth, what will the answer for the next one? Because it is true and it is false. So if any value is false, the conjunction is false. Good. Mahadev, T.S. Mahadev. There, your mail ID is T.S. Mahadevan.
Yes, sir, Mahadev.
What's your name?
Mahadev.
Okay. So what is the answer of this one? P3 conditional P of minus 1.
Sir, it's true.
So what is the value of P3? It is true or false?
True.
True. What is the value of P of minus 1?
False.
False. So true conditional false is true conditional false. Remind.
False.
Yeah, it is false. So
Yes, sir.
true conditional false give you always false. It is not true. Okay.
It's false. Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep reminding. Now, yeah, you're sure your answer is right. So, okay, let me take another name. Okay, Muskan.
Yes, sir.
What is the last? Okay, it is same. So, no need to ask. Take rest, okay? Okay, so students, I am giving you the 5-minute break. You can have a water Or if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, who want to drink water, they can come in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to cover some more topic, then I will leave you. And how to make propositional function. If it is given in today's slide, I will tell you. Otherwise, I will explain you in the next class. If the language like a paragraph is given to you, how to convert the paragraph by using propositional functions. Okay. Already the same slide is forwarded to you on your WhatsApp group. Okay, so same slide is forwarded to you on your WhatsApp group. You can check. Now, expressions with variables are not prepositions and therefore do not have truth values. For example, so just now one student is asking me if in the previous question if x is given as z minus 3, then it is a variable or not, means preposition or not. So not x is equal to z minus 3. You, in mathematics you can take it as equation and you can, but you are not able to find the value of x and z together. You need to put the value of x and z. Like if you put z is equal to minus 1, then x is minus 4. If you put z is equal to 0, then x is minus 3. So you are finding here, but we need to give the answer. It is true or false. That means LHS is equal to RHS. We are not going to find the value. We are giving the answer. It is true or false. Okay. So same here. Expressions with variables are not prepositions. Okay. So same here. P3 conjunction Py. So P of 3 conjunction P of y. So now you can check here. Py is given, same variable is given. If variable is given, then we can't get the truth value. Okay. So if we can't get the truth value of this, whatever it is true or false, then we are not able to get the final answer of it. So we don't get the truth value if it is a variable is including here, means the value is not given. Now same it is P of x conditional P of y. Okay, so same x variables are there, phi and x variable is there, so we are not able to tell or get the value. Okay.
Excuse
Now,
me, sir.
when you tell me.
Sir, what if it is P of 3 or P of y? P of 3 disjunction P of y.
Yes. P of 3 conjunction P of y. Okay. So P of 3 is true. Already we know that. Okay. If we are following this function, P is x greater than 0. So P3 is true. And P, we don't have the value of this, like if it is y is given here, put y here, y greater than 0. We don't have. Okay. So variable, whenever the variables are given here, so it is not a preposition first of all. Okay. So P of y.
So what if instead of conjunction it is disjunction, sir? P of 3 disjunction P of y. So it can be true, no, sir? Instead of conjunction, if it is disjunction.
Okay, so you are so your P place of input disjunction Py. So what will be the answer? So beta, first of all, we can take the conjunction. So it is a prepositional function. So we need to check it is a prepositional function or not. So before prepositional function, it should be a preposition. Okay. So now read what is given here. Expressions with variables are not prepositions. Okay.
So it is not a preposition. If it is not a preposition, so we can't define it is truth value. So we are not able to find the value of this. I know you are taking the property from algebra operations, like whatever we are taking in this true disjunction something, you will get true. I know you are following that, but here first it should be the prepositional function or preposition. Okay, so it is not a preposition, so that's why we are not going to take the true value if it is disjunction. First it should be preposition. Okay. If it is P or Q is given, okay, if P or Q is given and both are preposition, first P and Q always be preposition. So there is a sum of short lacking. First PQ should be preposition, then we can define it is true or false. Okay, beta, take care of it. So now same third point, when used with quantifiers to be introduced. Okay, now we can go with the quantifiers a little bit. Don't take the solution for this one, it is wrong. Okay, so because on the same it is written as false, on the same it is written as true. So it is a, don't do it, it is wrong. Okay. Otherwise this is the same slide. Now quantifiers. So what are the quantifiers? We need quantifiers to express the meaning of English words including all or some. Okay, the main two words we are going to introduce here with the help of quantifiers, all and some. Okay, we are using two quantifiers here, all and some. So all, okay, quantifiers related to quantity, simple. Okay, quantifiers related to quantity. So all men's are model. So here all is using here, so it is a quantifier. Try to find what is the quantifier there. Now here some cats do not have fur. Some. So a little bit it is also related to counting some, but we can't get how many. Same here, all means every, but we don't know the counting. Okay, so it is called quantifiers. So all and some, it is related to sum of quantity. So take care of it, these are quantifiers. Okay, now these two most important quantifiers are, the most two important quantifiers are, first the universal quantifier. What is the universal quantifier? For all. Okay, for all, it is called universal quantifier. Listen student, definition is not given here, the definition of quantifiers. You can take the definition from the book. Okay, so I already explained you quantifiers related to quantity, but here like not natural number and that one, not like that. All, some, there, exist, every, these are quantifiers. Okay, but mainly there are two quantifiers. First is universal quantifier, that is for all. And what is the symbol for all? This is the symbol for all. Wherever it is written, that means the meaning is for all. Okay, now second is existential quantifier, or you can read it existential quantifier. So that means existential, so that means there exist. So what is the symbol of? Symbol is this one, E, not E, opposite of E. So this is the symbol of two simple quantifiers for all, and there exist. I think already you studied in mathematics. Now, universal quantification of Px is the statement. The universal quantification of Px is a statement. So how can we write it? Px for all values of x in the domain. Okay, so what is the meaning of Px? Universal quantification. If it is a universal quantification or universal quantifier we are using here, so what is the meaning of it? Px for all values of x in the domain. For means at each value you need to define the Px. At each value or at every value your Px, whatever given the question, it should follow the rule. Okay, for all, for every. The universal quantification of Px is denoted by this. Okay, so universal quantifier is for all, and the universal quantification, how can we use in the question? For all x, Px. For all x, Px means for all x you need to define Px. First, like here, x is 10 integers are given to you, and the rule is x greater than 0. So if x 10 values are given for you, like integers 1 to 10, okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So you need to find the value of Px for all x. So at 1 greater than 0 it is true, 2 greater than 0 it is true, 3 greater than 0 it is true. So like this you need to find Px at each and every point. Okay, you need to prove it is true or false. So how can you read it? This one, this is a reading of for all x Px. So how can we read for all x Px? Okay, or we can also read for every x Px. Okay, mostly we are using for all, but the meaning is same. You can also pronounce it for every. These are similar. Now, existential quantification of Px. Okay, so what is the existential quantification of Px? So there exists an element x. There exists an element x in the domain such that Px. Okay. So that means there exists a value. There exists a value means at any value. So like the same question, what happened like today the Epic Pen is not, they didn't install properly, and we are not able to install because it requires an administrator password that is in the IT section. Otherwise I will write and will tell you. So now listen. So like interval is given of integers -5 to 5. Okay, -5, 5. This is the interval is given to you. And what is Px? X greater than 0. From -5 to 5, is there any value that x greater than 0 can be true? Yes. At 1 it is true, at 2 it is true, at 3, 4, 5. So 1 to 5 it is true. So we can say there exists x from -5 to 5 where Px is true. Okay, the meaning of this, there exists means we are able to find any value, not compulsory, or we are able to find any value. Okay, maybe it is true for at any point. Maybe it is false for 99 points, but if it is true for 1 point, then my meaning is that there exists. Same if maybe false. Okay, if it is true for any value or it may be false, okay? But you need to give your answer as per the question. So, how can we read there exists Px? You can read it separately, there exists, then you can read Px. Okay, so there exists Px can be read as for some x Px. You can also read this, okay, for some x Px. Or you can also read there as there is an x such that Px. There is an x means there may be one x, there may be an x, so at least one x is there. Or you can also read for at least one x. Okay. Now the statement is written, when true it is written, when false it is written here in the table. So how can we read this? Like this. So statement for all x Px. For all x Px is written here. Px is true for every x. For all x Px is means Px is true for every. So what is the negation? What is the negation of it? Px is true for every x. So negation is there is an x for which Px is false. Means if at any point, if any single x is found where it is false, so this is called the negation of for all x. Okay, maybe it is for false for any value, maybe at once. So this is there exists Px. So how can you read it? There is an x for which P is true. So what is the opposite? Px is false for every value of x. Okay, means it is false for every value. So what is, how can you get it? There does not exist any value. If it is false for every, so the meaning of it, there does not exist. Now, what is this? Example, universal quantifier. Okay. So this is the first example. If Px denotes x greater than 0 and u is the integer, now think, okay, read all three examples you and I will ask you why it is false and why it is true. You will give me the explanation. So first is false, second is true, and third is false. Okay, read first, second, third. I am giving you 3 minutes for each 1 minute and I will ask you the explanation. Still then I will download your attendance sheet first. Read it, I will ask you the answer. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, try to explain if it is
not, then okay. Don't be in panic. Mm, okay. Pearl Thomas, what about the first? Why it is false?
Because negative and because numbers below 0 and above 0 are both there.
Mm. Again, you can tell me again.
Because the domain includes numbers below and above 0.
Yeah, because here set of integer is given. Okay, good. Hotaria,
Yes, sir.
previously you was where you was not there when I'm asking.
Sir, I forgot to unmute my side. That's why you're not able to hear my voice.
So if such type of things happen, you can always message. Otherwise, like there is an
Okay.
option of hand, you can try to show that. Okay?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
now tell me about the second point, why it is true.
Because u is the set of positive integers and x is greater than 0. So x is a positive integer. That's why it's true.
Is in positive, listen, is in positive integers, 0 is included or not?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay, good. Right. So, okay, good. Now, one student also at the time not responding. What is the name? Rakshit. Rakshit Koda. Rakshit Koda. Okay. So means you are absent. Sadhana.
Hello, sir.
Tell me better about third point. So what is given here? Px denotes even integer and u is an integer. So why? For all x, px is false. Take 30 seconds. Okay. Then you can try to explain. Okay. I am going. Okay. Now you got the answer, or I will ask to any other student. You are in confusion.
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So you can practice it. Okay. Now.
Okay.
Pavan. Pavan Mudipudi.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about Pavan, about third
So we can
point.
take integers include odd values also.
So what is px? Px is even integer, means like 2x, even integer any. X is even integer and u is the integer.
Yes,
So
sir.
for all x, px is answer is false.
Yes, sir.
So try to explain it again.
X values can be odd, sir, but they give only even.
On if
Okay, I will ask to anyone. This is the right answer. Good. Because x is x, it is not 2x. So existential quantifiers. Okay. So in existential quantifiers, exist is a sign. So what is the first example? If px denotes x greater than examples are same as it is in the previous. If px denotes x greater than 0 and u is the integer, then there px is true. Explanation. If it is true also, okay, explanation is also written here. It is also true if u is the positive integers. So like here I am explaining first one, px x greater than 0, but they are asking for there exist. So what is u? U is the set of integer. Inside of integer there are negative integers also, 0 is also there, and positive integer is also there. So this case x greater than 0 is true for all positive integers. Okay, so that's why there exists x px is true because there exists x. So what is x here? X will be positive integer. So if set of integer is given and the condition is x greater than 0, so yes, there are some values of integer at which x should be greater than 0. And what are these? The positive integers. So there exists x px is true. Okay. So now second example is for Kishore.
Yes, sir.
205. Tell me, Kishore, about 2 you are getting second point or not?
Yes, sir.
Read.
I got it.
So what is the question? Px denotes x less than 0. Okay, and u is the
Yes.
positive integer. So is there any positive integer for which x less than 0?
No, sir.
So there exists x px is false. There
sir.
does not exist means there exists x px is false. So at every whatever x it should be false. Yeah, it is not a question, explanation is already there. Okay. In your section, I think I'm finding the name of boys were mostly girls are there. So now, okay, Raghav.
Yes, sir.
So Raghav Dubey, you are getting
Yes,
that
sir.
point.
Yes.
So what is the third point? X denotes an even integer. And u is the integer. So there exists px is true. So at what values x is even? Any two values can tell me?
2 and 4.
Okay. So yeah, now means you are getting good. Okay. So thinking about quantifiers. Okay. So when okay, I will cover this slides in the next class. Okay, students. Already forward you these slides, but it will take some more times to cover, but it is very easy. So like some examples are there given here. Okay. Okay, in next class I will cover these total slides because today the main is how to create the basics for the quantifiers. So in the next class what I do, already listen students, already the PDF is forwarded to you. You can do one thing, you can have a look on it. Okay. You can have a look on it, try to, it is very easy, you will get it. Okay, in the next class I will give you means I will teach you some theoretical questions if like theory is given and how to convert in preposition and then prepositional functions. I will give you that. Okay. And for those students who are suggesting for the more example, from the next class I will give you means I will teach some more examples in class. Okay, you will get it. Previously what will happen, so same already I told you, like exams are going there and classes are short and lectures are more, so sometimes classes are already filled with other faculties, and right now they are also going to install the softwares whatever it is required in the software. So don't be in panic. Whatever you are not getting, I will teach you again. Okay. Thanks, students. Already these slides are be with you. And also one thing.
Okay.
There wait. There is a special photos for all the students. You can't do this. Wait 1 minute. I am sharing you. If it is in my mobile, in your WhatsApp group, then you will learn one thing, because too many times this has happened with me. Okay, one photo is shared with you in the WhatsApp group. You can have a look on it, my phone and mathematics material. So don't do that. You can save your material in the safe place, because what happened with me in the last class, when I am teaching you, I forget my pen drive in the class and still it is not found. So whatever the notes that missed, and in the same thing, if it is in the mobile, if I am going to delete any data, because always the memory is nearly 91%, 95% is over, because we are taking the online classes from March. Too many daily 10% or 15% memories are full, so we are also deleting the materials. So whenever we are going to delete the material, it will be deleted from your WhatsApp also, whatever the things I shared. So always keep safe. Okay. So thank you, students. Now I'm going to end this. Next class we will cover. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And